All right, we're going to try something a bit different today. Can we actually get to the heart of a whole city just by reading one local magazine? Well, we're about to find out. Our focus today is Arlington, Texas, and our guide is this magazine, Arlington Today.
So let's just jump right in. The big question we're asking is this: what can a single local magazine really tell you about the soul of a city? Seriously, we're going to use its pages as a kind of roadmap to figure out what Arlington celebrates, what it truly values, and maybe even where it's headed.
Okay, so first up, celebrations. You can learn a lot about a place by what it chooses to celebrate. The traditions, the get togethers, that stuff often tells you what really matters to people. And wow, Arlington's commitment to tradition, it shines bright. I mean, literally. Check this out. This is the interlocking Christmas lights display. And get this, it's been going on for 50 years. Think about that. For half a century, almost 200 homes have banded together to put on this incredible, totally free, volunteer-run light show. It's just this massive grassroots effort that says so much about the city's community spirit. And speaking of massive, how about this number? 5 million. That is how many lights they have at the Prairie Lights display over at Joe Pool Lake. It's celebrating its 20th anniversary, and it basically turns a 2-mile drive into this unbelievable holiday spectacle. This sense of tradition goes way deeper into some really cool cultural roots. For 15 years now, they've had the Texas Christkindl Market. And this isn't just some holiday fair. It celebrates a 74-year friendship with Arlington's sister city in Germany. We're talking the real deal. Authentic schnitzel, that amazing spiced wine, and even exclusive collectibles you literally can't get anywhere else in the state. It's so much more than a market. It's like a living, breathing connection to history. And that community pride, it really comes through in how they honor their heroes. So the Texas Veterans Day Parade in Arlington, it was just named the best parade in the entire state. I mean, you've got flyovers, you've got marching bands, and the Grand Marshal was former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. It's pretty clear that when it's time to show respect, this community absolutely shows up. Okay, so traditions clearly run deep. That's a given. But what about the city's economic heartbeat? Let's kind of turn the page and check out the local business pulse. What are the businesses featured in this magazine tell us about Arlington's character? So the magazine has this awesome feature called the Editor's Choice Awards. And think of it like a local's guide to the places that are way more than just businesses. These are the institutions, the places that are really the backbone of the whole community. And of course, behind every one of these businesses are people with just incredible stories. Take this guy, Yak Moutawakil. He's originally from Morocco, grew up in this really entrepreneurial family. And this quote from him, it just perfectly captures that spirit of legacy and hard work that he brought with him. And here's where that hard work leads. Zach literally worked his way up from busser to server to manager, and now he's the owner of Zach's Bistro, which won the award for Best Family Dining. And get this, a lot of his staff have been with him for almost 20 years. That's not just a business, you guys. That's a family. This deep respect for history seems to be a real running theme here. Let's take the winner for Best Date Night, the Candlelight Inn. It was first founded way back in 1957. And when they brought it back, they kept everything. The original spot, the classic menu items, even the jukeboxes. It's seriously like stepping back in time for dinner. And that kind of longevity, it's not a fluke. It's a pattern. Just look at these pillars of the community. Frostbank, founded in 1868. I mean, come on. You've got a roofer that's been in business for 37 years, a local pharmacy that's about to celebrate its 60th anniversary. What this really shows is a foundation of stability and trust that's been built up over generations. All right, so we've got traditions and trusted businesses. Check. But what about the people? Let's zoom out a little and dig into the stories that really show you the heart of this community. And okay, this next story is just fantastic. We're talking about preschoolers, 4-year-olds. They didn't just, collect some cans for a food drive. No, they did chores to earn their own money, planned out a whole shopping trip, and then went to the store and bought over $1,800 worth of groceries. And then they delivered it all themselves to Mission Arlington? I mean, talk about teaching generosity from the very beginning. You can also see a community's heart and how it remembers the people it's lost. This quote here is from a tribute to Carlos Mendez, who was a really beloved local journalist. He was described as a reporter who saw people first. The way the community remembers him, it just shows you how much they value their storytellers and how deeply they feel that loss. Okay, and shifting gears to something a little lighter, I'm a firm believer you can tell a lot about a place by how it treats its pets. And of course, the magazine has a Pet of the Month feature. Everybody meet Dak Esparza. It might seem like a small thing, but it just points to this friendly, warm-hearted community that totally loves its four-legged family members. So, let's recap. We've got a city that honors tradition, supports local businesses, and has a really strong community feel. But is it just stuck in the past? Is it just resting on its laurels? Let's see what the magazine has to say about where Arlington is headed. And this timeline makes it pretty clear. This is not a city that's standing still. We see everything from celebrating student artists to a cool new vintage shop opening downtown, all the way up to attracting a massive national sporting event like the NHL Stadium Series. This is definitely a city with its eyes on the future. So, this all brings us right back to where we started, to our big question. After looking through the pages of just one magazine, what did we actually learn about this city's character, about its soul? So what's the final verdict? Honestly, a surprisingly clear picture starts to form. You see a city that absolutely cherishes its history and traditions, from those 50-year-old light displays to restaurants brought back from the past. You see an economy that's this cool mix of scrappy new entrepreneurs and legacy businesses built on generations of trust. And you see a community that's really defined by generosity and respect. And all of it points to a confident city that's got big plans for what's next. And we pulled all of that from just one single magazine. Kind of makes you think, right? What story is hiding in plain sight in your town's local paper or magazine? What does it say about the soul of your community? It might be worth a look.